The reason why so many people move from rural areas to big cities are because in rural areas, the access to public transportations is hard. Rural areas is lacking of public transportations. In rural areas, when you want to go from place A to place B, you need to have private transportations such as motorcycle, cars, or bicycle. If you don't have any, then you need to let out huge amount of money to hitchhike to other people's transportations. This is why robberies often happens in rural areas because people are easily manipulated. This is why so many people in rural areas decided to move to metropolitan cities because they must let out huge amount of money only to get to another areas around. Instead, letting out huge amount of money every time you want to go somewhere, why don't you just go to metropolitan cities where public transportation is everywhere and it costs lower? Privileged people tend to do the opposite. Privileged people move to suburbs where the land is cheap so that they can own bigger houses. They don't have the problems of having to hitchhike to someone's transportations every time they want to get somewhere. The solution to this problem is create an equitable infrastructure development and increase public transportations in that area, where people from rural areas can go from an area to an area easier and cheaper. By creating an equal distribution of infrastructure, it also attracts company who wants to promote and sell their products because they will think by the existence of public transportation in that area, people can approach their store easier, and people in rural areas can also get great opportunity to work with that company because the access from their house to their workplace is easier. And guess what? Society will no longer think that in order to have huge income and huge job, you have to move to big city because you can work at the public transportations or big companies that started to open their store in that area. The reason why society think to be a successful person yet who have high income have to move to metropolitan city is because jobs with high income often exist there and exist less in rural areas. Transportation is also the key to lower the price of our daily needs. Even if the prices is still high, at least it makes the distributions of that needs easier. It's useless if you only lowered interest loan for people that want to open up SMEs without good infrastructure. Nobody wants to create and sell something if the distributions is hard. We can't just move people without improving their areas because in the end, human will live wherever they feel comfortable. Health facility will also be easier to approach if the area is rich in public transportations. Government also have to enrich health facilities for people in the rural areas. One of the reasons why they move to metropolitan cities is because the lack of health facility in their area. People in rural areas also have to get proper educations because an area will not grow unless the people in it are educated. People in rural areas move to big cities because there they see lots of people becoming someone they dreamed about. In conclusion, people in rural areas are the victims of lack of responsibility from the government. Government should give people in rural areas proper educations, proper healthcare, and proper job. And don't forget equal distributions of infrastructure, development, and spreading public transportations. The main key to solve this problem is by improving their access to places. This house doesn't agree that money would make them leave metropolitan cities. Thank you.